Hello there, dear viewer. I go by curiousChrysalis, but you can call me Chris if you'd like, and welcome to a game that I enjoy quite a bit. This is Risk of Rain 2, the sequel to Risk of Rain, the first one, which came out in around 2011, during the big indie game boom shortly after Minecraft's meteoric rise to fame. And this game is a little different from the first one. It's all 3D and all snazzy like that. And I've played quite a bit of this game. On my primary profile, I have 155 hours listed. And over here on my YouTube profile, I actually have 9 hours, and I will explain that in just a moment when we head into single player. This episode is going to be a little bit odd, because I'm actually recording this at around the time I would be recording episode 10, based on my understanding of the system I want to go forward with. And it's because the first episode was both pretty awkward in terms of commentary pacing, because I hadn't quite figured out exactly what I wanted to do with my YouTube persona at the time. And I also had quite a few audio issues as a result of the video going pretty long. So hopefully in the near future I can get the audio issues resolved by tweaking some things about my computer, but those are still present, although I've minimized them. So please keep that in mind going forward. And I lost my train of thought. Either way, basically, I've unlocked plenty of things here that you will see me unlock in the near future, and that is as a result of the weird-ass recording schedule I've got going on. But, you know, let's play it like it's the first one. We're going to play just a simple run of Commando. I think I only want to do 1 or 2 runs this episode to keep it nice and short and easy to understand. So, while I'm doing that, I want to go over exactly what the deal is with Risk of Rain. Risk of Rain is part of the roguelike genre, which is most exemplified in, at least in my eyes, by the Binding of Isaac. Even though I haven't played too much of the Binding of Isaac, it sort of codified the modern roguelike as a genre. And so you are still doing the whole semi-random dungeon with different items each time, and slowly escalating in power over the course of a run before you die and start over again. That is so well known throughout the genre, but a couple things are different about Risk of Rain. First of all, you can see that the combat is a little more action-oriented, and in this game it plays a lot more like a standard third-person shooter than the sort of action platformer that the first game was. And in Risk of Rain, the items are not necessarily unique. So in Binding of Isaac, when you pick up any old item, like growth hormones or whatever, that item will never show up again for the rest of the run, because it is a unique item, and you can only find one of them. However, in Risk of Rain, items are tiered in rarity, similar to a Diablo-style system. And those items are not unique, and their effects do indeed stack when they are collected in multiples, which leads to a lot of your runs becoming very, very, very interesting the further you go. Risk of Rain, to my knowledge, was also the very first roguelike to implement a looping mechanic, wherein you can choose on the final level, rather than going to fight the final boss, you can choose to loop back to the first stage and start over again, keeping all of your items and such from the previous several floors. And that allows you to essentially go for as long as you feel like, assuming you don't want to end it at any given point and fight the final boss and get your win. So that it's a very interesting system. So, you know, hopefully we will be getting pretty decently far this run. I'm pretty confident in my ability. I usually play on Monsoon, which is a different difficulty from the Rainstorm on the top right. You can see that orange skull. There is a blue, less angry-looking skull for Drizzle difficulty, and there is a red, more angry-looking skull for Monsoon difficulty, and that will change how the timer works. The primary driver in Risk of Rain 2 is the timer. All chest costs, drone costs, Shrine of Chance, enemy difficulty and placement, the amount of elites you see, the amount of damage they do, all of that is scaling continuously directly with the timer on the top right. You can see right now we're about 1/3 of the way through easy difficulty. And that will even when it stops giving us new difficulties, because it only came up with so many, it will continue to scale linearly. And by the time you get into these like multiple hour-long runs, you can get some really, really insane enemy sets, and probably fry your GPU in the process and ruin the audio processing on the video you're about to render. So I'm most likely not going to try for a super duper long run. At most I'm going to be going to stage 8 and just getting a Celestial Portal. But realistically, that might not happen, and that's fine. You know, the thing about roguelikes is that if you get salty about dying on each individual run, then you're just going to hate the game for the rest of your life. So you need to, you know, try not to take each individual run so personally. Okay, I want to get off of this first floor by around 5 minutes, just to make sure that I have a good amount of time so the enemies don't scale too hard. If I was on Monsoon, I would want to worry a lot more about getting to the first teleporter by the 3-minute mark, but given that we're on Brainstorm, it's a little more lenient. Okay, you can see the teleporter back there. You can tell where the teleporter is by the sort of ember particles emanating from it. And those go pretty high into the skybox and with the geometry and things like that, but it can be kind of hard to see in certain maps. Okay, Tri-Tip Dagger is nice. I've modified my item display to give more detailed readouts of exactly what an item does. It is worth knowing that the relative damage unit in this game is percentage. So a skill that does 300% will do 3 times the damage of a skill that does 100%. So keep that in mind. And if you want a standard, all of the shots of our R, this rapid fire sort of 6-bullet thing, those all do 100%, and our standard little shots do 90%. And the literal damage of that, the nominal damage, will change over time with our own level, as you can see on the bottom left. And probably there's a couple other funky scaling factors that determine the exact amount of damage things do. There's probably like diminishing return and things like that, but I don't know. Anyway, let's hit this teleporter at around the 5-minute mark. Beetle Queen is good. Pretty simple boss for the first floor. Has some scary burst damage potential, but really nothing too threatening. You can see here that she spawns these little guys. These are the standard beetles that she is the queen of course. And she fires this little bug at you, and it puts that bubble there. I still don't know what the debuff that applies to you does. I have literally never gotten to the point where I've noticed its impact. It probably, like, shreds your armor or something. And armor is an invisible stat that gives you damage resistance, so it's pretty hard to understand the impact of that if it does indeed shred your armor like I think it does. Ooh, nice yellow item. The Queen's Gland. Yellow items are specific to the boss of the teleporter that you have just beaten. So they are often very powerful, and they thematically tie into the boss just beaten, which is fun. So the Queen's Gland summons a Beetle Guard to fight for us, and the Beetle Guard is a stronger variant of the Beetle, which we have not seen in this floor, but we will be seeing in future floors. If you get the, for instance, the Abandoned Aqueduct is one of the variants of Stage 2, and that can spawn Beetle Guards if you get it. I don't recall if Wetland Aspect, the other Stage 2 variant, could spawn them, but I do not believe so. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about with all these variants, we are for every stage except Stage 5 at time of recording, there are 2 variants of the stage. So we could have gotten a different stage for Stage 1. We did get the Abandoned Aqueduct for Stage 2, but we could have gotten a sort of swampy area called the Wetland Aspect. And that's okay. Now, I've been trying to find the secret in this area for the better part of 10 recording sessions in the near past, and I have yet to find it. So I'm going to take a quick tour to just kind of make sure I can see if those have spawned, but I don't know exactly where they do spawn the pressure plates to activate the secret. I need 5 money, are you kidding? Come on. Wisp, please. Thank you. Ooh, Cautious Slug is nice. Out of combat regen. Ah, there's an enemy beetle guard that my friendly beetle guard just beat the hell out of. Yeah, one of the things that is nice about this game actually is that my item descriptions are changed, and it's really not at all difficult to change whatever text you'd like in this game, because all of the files, at least right now, the game officially releases tomorrow. Like the 1.0 patch is actually releasing the day after I'm recording this, to peel back the curtain a little bit. So that may change upon the official release of the game, but as of time of recording, there is actually all of the text in the game, like all of the localization files, are in just .txt plain text files in the game files in the Steam folder, and you can just sort of change it. So like all of the enemy names, even the splash screen on open that tells you the game's in early access, you can change every single line of text in the entire game, and it's very cool. It means I can rename enemies, which I may end up doing in the near future, but I want to keep things readable for new players, at least for the time being. Okay. We're doing good. A couple items here. I want to try and get out of here probably by the 10-minute mark. Ordinarily on Monsoon, I'd be worried about getting out of here at 7 minutes, but I think we've gotten plenty of items. And we aren't too worried about the time we're spending, especially because we're in early medium. Okay, let's get to this teleporter. These elite wisps are concerning. Overloading wisps can be quite a challenge. That's okay. Stone Titan is a bit spooky. It's got this laser beam, which worries about line of sight. And in certain spawns, that can be quite irritating to dodge properly. But we got an equipment item earlier, which is sort of like an active item we can activate on a cooldown. That gives us guaranteed crits, which effectively means we double our damage for 8 seconds. Yo! Ukulele is so good. Either way, that helped us burst down that Stone Titan pretty quickly. Excuse me. The ukulele we just got is one of the best items on specifically Commando, because Commando's proc rate is really high. Proc means programmed random occurrence. It's sort of a gamer term, one of those weird technological terms that not a lot of people probably know the origin of. But the Commando's proc rate, based on the movement speed and some of the internal mechanics, is the highest out of all of the survivors. And a lot of the items that you get that are very important for damage, which includes the ukulele, are based on your procs. But the thing about ukulele that makes it uniquely good on Commando is that Commando's AoE is not very good. Their mouse 2 is their best AoE skill, and it is not very good at doing AoE specifically. So getting the chain lightning from the ukulele onto a bunch of different targets will help. And those hits can also proc your items, which, you know, combined with Commando's already pretty good proc rate, means that you can really get some crazy chains going. Okay, rally point delta for a stage 3. We did not get here by the 10-minute mark, which means we can't get the special timed chest here, but that's okay. You can see there, that is the timed chest. There will be an episode in the near future that will explain exactly what the purpose of that is. But as a glimpse into the future, you can just guess if you don't know already. Okay, 3 more money and I can get this crowbar. Let's go. Ah, ukulele is so cool. The visual effects are really cool. Another thing I really appreciate about this game, that they tried to do in the first game, but there just wasn't enough space or budget for it, is that all of your items show up on your character. So you can see like the bustling fungus and the ocular HUD and and the monster tubes and the raw meat and all that. The mid kit hanging off the right side of my pants there. It you know, it's really cool. Really nice little touch. Beetle Guard does impressive damage numbers. Like 300 damage is not nothing for sure. At this point in the game especially. It's really helping out these big enemies. Yeah, just one ukulele makes such a big difference on Commando. It's unreal. Okay, that's fungus, random, and meat? Whatever, doesn't matter. Cautious Slug is fine. That's our second one. We have plenty of healing items, that's nice. Healing items can be somewhat hard to come by. And if you don't have enough of them, or the ones that you have are like medkit, some of the more difficult ones to activate consistently, it can get pretty sketchy, especially during boss fights. So I'm glad to see that we have a good set of defensives. Yeah, you know, Commando is pretty dead simple. Just kind of aim and shoot. Keep your jumps going. Keep your hitbox moving. We're having a good time so far. Our wallet is not, but that's beside the point. There's a couple elite Lemurians over there. Elite enemies are the ones with the sort of borders around their health bar, and they have additional passive abilities that make them more dangerous, as well as a flat health and damage multiplier. Or, well, you know, flat multiplier is kind of an oxymoron, but you understand what I mean. They get a damage multiplier. It's hot today. You ever get that feeling where you're wearing like a loose shirt or like, you know, no shirt, that's appropriate, and like a bead of sweat forms and rolls down part of your body? Because that is, just not a fun feeling. I'm very sorry for any like weird ASMR flashbacks kind of stuff that I just caused there, but it's happening to me all over and it does not feel pleasant. Pretty hot today. I should crack open the window, but then that will add in a lot more background noise, so I will tough it out for the channel, for the audience, after all. Okay, we have plenty of money. Let's get these Lens Maker's glasses. Gives us a 10% chance to naturally crit. Armor piercing rounds is fun. Somewhat tempting, but we already have 2 of them, so I think that's enough for now. So yeah, the release schedule is probably going to be a bit confusing. This is definitely a lot more... Like, I don't know, I skimmed through the older videos just to make sure there weren't any phenomenal technical troubles with them, and there aren't. But I do not remember whether the commentary in those is actually good most of the time. I've actually done quite a lot of prep work for this series, so please forgive any growing pains that may be happening as a result. But I've gotten a lot better at commentary over that time, even in the short period of time. It's only been like a couple weeks, you know? Magma Worm is kind of annoying. Magma Worm likes to move around a lot, but the effect when Magma Worm is on screen is so cool. I really love Magma Worm, like, visually as a boss. It feels really cool to have this giant worm, like, make your entire screen go red when it shows up, and it's popping in and out of the ground, so you want to fire. It's really, really cool. It's just the AI is kind of funky. It'll often go after allies on the opposite side of the map. You have, like, one of them gunner turrets that you can purchase that just stays around and goes to the teleporter on the floors after you bought it. It can be... the Magma Worm can decide to go after that instead, and that's no good. It's very annoying to be in the middle of a teleporter event and you're at like 99% because everything's fine except for the boss isn't dead yet. And the magma worm is literally all the way across the map fighting a turret somewhere. But honestly, it doesn't happen too often unless you buy the gunner turrets, which is not something you often want to prioritize given the way they scale. Man, the gasoline and the ukulele are really coming in handy here. All of these zaps, all of this free damage. Razor wire from the teleporter was not bad either. Ooh, a blue portal appears. That is lucky. So this is the Lunar shot portal. And we could have guaranteed this portal spawning, but we did not, and it's just fortunate that we got that. And now, kind of strangely, we get to do something that I've been anticipating for a while in the very first episode for you guys. But we get to unlock the Artificer character, who is one of my personal favorites. Even though I believe they're a bit controversial in the community, a lot of people think they're kind of weak, but I disagree. I think I'm okay. I think I just want to get out of here. I don't think I need anything special. Oh yeah, we're going into stage 5. Is this the same run? Yeah, nice. I think so. This has been a pretty good run. Usually I have 1 or 2 runs that don't do too well before I get a decent one under me, but it's probably... I recorded a little bit earlier today, especially on Commando specifically as well. So I suppose it's just that I'm in practice, you know, don't need to shake any rust off. Could also be that it's Rainstorm, but, you know, I've died plenty on Rainstorm. Rainstorm is not a cakewalk. You want to go to Drizzle for that. Although there's not too much shame in playing Drizzle, especially for brand new. Rainstorm can be kind of daunting, but I would recommend, once you get used to the way the game plays, and you can get past the first stage consistently, I would recommend going onto Rainstorm as soon as you're comfortable with the game as a whole. Just because playing on Drizzle, it's really easy. Like, if you know what you're doing, Drizzle is Snorefest, so I would recommend just skipping it. You know, either start on Rainstorm, or if you're having a bit of trouble on Rainstorm, I would suggest going to Drizzle, but not for too long. What's going on over there? Yo, really? Holy hell. A red item from a normal chest is huge. That's like a 2% drop. And Sentient Meat Hook is like the best one as well. So that's cool, especially for Commando specifically. So this run's probably going to go pretty far, if I had to guess. Unless I get absolutely creamed by the secret boss that I'm trying to spawn. But who knows? I got a red. So, like, you know, actually, yeah, probably, you know, I think for the very first time on camera, I'm not going to spawn the boss here. Watch me get it when I go to get Loader in, like, episode something. I don't know, probably 2 or 3. Loader's fun. I played a good amount of her after I unlocked her, so. Old Guillotine is a nice pickup. Elite enemies can be quite the nuisance, especially after the first loop, when they start spawning the very scary kinds. So, having a threshold where they just die immediately, it's going to be very nice. These guys in the sky here, the brass contraptions, if those little spike balls hit you, that's a whole lot of damage. It's one of the higher damaging abilities from any enemy, as far as I'm aware. The downside is that they're pretty slow, both in terms of movement speed and attack speed, but it doesn't matter if they're overloading and they hit you for half of your health with one, and then the ball that is planted on you by the overloading enemy effect hits you for the other half of your health, feels pretty bad. So, never underestimate the power of the brass contraption. Got plenty of money. Yo, okay. Okay. I'll take another red. I'll take a Tesla coil. I will definitely take a Tesla coil. Are you freaking kidding me, dude? This is insane. Insane RNG. definitely not going for Alloy Worship Unit anymore, unless I get it on accident. Let's find this teleporter. Let's get out of here. I've already been through here. I have. Get these vultures out of here. I don't want to hear any of that shit. Okay, nope, those were not the embers, that's the skybox. Oh, I've been up here too. This is way up here. Or maybe over on the left side? Oh, Tesla coil. I love Tesla coil. Oh, okay. It's just right there. Duh, I've been down there the whole time. Oh, Paul's goat hoof is nice. Speed is speed. That's just where the Alloy Worship Unit spawns, so it wasn't where my mind went. But yeah, with the Unstable Tesla Coil and the Sentient Meat Hook, those are some of the best reds in the game, and we'll definitely be happy to see those. We will most likely see a clear if our luck maintains, which is good. We had a bit of a shaky start on this run. We got 2 fungus on the first floor, which are basically dead items for all intents and purposes. But I suppose they're extra whites to potentially roll into if you wanted to use a 3D printer. Which we may. You know, if we can get Lensmaker's Glasses 3D printer, that's going to be like a freaking huge power boost for us. That's all for the future. The magma worm is the present. Oh yeah, we're not gonna have any issues here. Wow. Are you kidding? Is that just Tesla coil? Is Tesla coil doing fat deeps right now? I think so. Alright, yeah, this run is fine, especially with that Will-O-the-Wisp. Holy hell! Yeah, this is a really good run. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes. Oof. Yep, there's one of those brass contraption balls. And that stealth kit that I said would come in handy in the very beginning, at least I think so. That is starting to come in handy. Because we had potentially been sighted by that brass contraption for much longer. We may have taken another hit or two. You can see the Sentient Meat Hook just launching these jellyfish all over the place. It's fun. And you know, the Sentient Meat Hook keeps people grouped up, and the Ukulele and the Will-O-the-Wisp both like people to be grouped up. And they're some of the stronger damage items overall. So, yeah, this is looking up so far. Get that pill. That's fine though. Sky Meadow. I think I do want to just chill here. Oftentimes I end up just leaving this floor. There's a way to do so. But I think we are strong enough that we don't have to worry too much about doing the stage. This stage just has quite a nasty enemy list. And it also did just spawn 2 bosses right as we spawn in. So, that's fun. This is Risk of Raid. I don't know what to tell you. It's just 2 bosses, just chilling, you know? We're on stage 5, you know, like half an hour in. We're not doing bad. Here's the teleporter. I am scared of what could potentially come out of it. So I do want a little more money. But, like, to seconds worth of time, you're doing a literal ATG missile to every enemy. That's really, really, really good. It's really strong. Especially because the Tesla coil itself chains as well, if memory serves. And even if it doesn't, it procs the ukulele, which does, so. Oh, just barely enough. Would like to see a Hopu feather to get us an extra jump. Lensmaker's glasses, very nice. Is that our first one? No, second one. I probably shouldn't have picked that up, but whatever. Oh yeah, we're doing damage. Dealing with that that quickly was a pretty good sign. We've already seen the teleporter, so it's not over here. But I do want to loot as much as I can. Yeah, see, there's two big chests, or two small chests over here. I would have just walked right past. And a pill. I'm missing fireworks. Fireworks are good. It just gives me free damage when I interact with things, you know? And interacting with things is something you do a lot. Every chest, every pill, every shrine of chance is free damage when you have fireworks. Even if it's not effective damage, it's free. What are you complaining about? Right. Soldier's syringe, by the way, our third one. Very nice. Soldier's syringe is pretty important on Commando because their attack speed is part of the proc rate, you know? And when you're relying on procs this much, you do want plenty of attack speed so you can really churn out the chances. Let's move out. Getting free money from our beetle, we're getting free money from Tesla coil, we're chillin', we're J-chillin'. Back around to the teleporter. So small chest up that way too. And a large chest here. I can afford it. Red? No red. If only. Can you imagine? It's like regen rack or something. Alien head. Crazy. Okay, I think it will be about time to get going after we unlock this chest. Sticky bombs? Just our first? Okay, that's fine. Sticky bomb is a nice chunk of damage. It's not the best proc item in the game, but it's certainly going to help. It's going to be like a bootleg ATG, essentially. And you know, adds a non-zero amount of burst. Those mushroom enemies are kind of tanky, so... Oh boy, it's Magma Worm again. That shows up all the time. But look at us go! Oh yeah, baby. Not even trying. No trouble whatsoever. Surface Pauldron is nice. I just unlocked that last episode, so that'll tell you exactly where I am in the hierarchy. Oh, Berserker's Pauldron is so good. So much attack speed. Look at that. Wow. Hey. Get your little mushroom butt out of here. Yeah, our Beetle Guard doing nearly 900 damage to things now. Berserker's Pauldron. Wow, it really doesn't last too long. Oh well. That's fine. Of course. Out. Etc. Okay. Finally killed that Solace control unit. It's been bugging us the whole stage. Alright. Yeah, armor piercing rounds, man. I think armor piercing rounds. Like at the very beginning of my recordings for this game, I was talking a lot of trash about armor piercing rounds, but I think it's one of the better items now, honestly. It'd be fun to stack on a command run, you know? Just a whole ton of armor-piercing rounds. Get like 250% extra damage against bosses, something like that. Be fun. Oh, I see the Mute Shrine peeking out back there. That's fine. Alright, back on Titanic Plains. You see we've looped back around to the front. That's just the looping mechanic I was talking about earlier. In this game, unlike the first game, you are required to loop at least once. We will get the opportunity to clear the game for the first time on stage 8. So, given our current power level, it's actually somewhat likely that we will end up seeing that today. Which will be fun. It will be very cool to have the opportunity to show you guys a win as the very first video. Because although I have been recording a little bit, it's not always consistent to get good runs, even on like my 100%, 155 hour save file. I'm still having some trouble. So, you know, you can only get so far with the RNG, and sometimes your skill comes in. And like, yeah, I did get carried by RNG this game. I will admit that. I got 2 reds out of small chests on 1 floor, and they were the best ones. But you know what? I think that's just the universe telling me that recording a new episode 1 was a good idea. So, I'm gonna take full credit for that. Yo, are you kidding? That's a legendary chest. How much does that cost? 53? Easy. 5,325? That's a guaranteed red item. These chests are insanely rare spawns, except for the one in stage 3 that's guaranteed. So I definitely want to get that, because it's a guaranteed red item. And we are far from struggling at the moment, so getting that extra red item could really push us over the top. Where's like a malachite? I want a malachite or celestine spawn soon, so we can get some free cash from them. Oh yeah, the Tesla coil does chain indeed. Just saw it happening. Oh yeah, we're almost there. The later you get into a risk of rain run, the easier it is to just run through an entire level, just killing random enemies, and you'll just have enough loot to get all of your items anyway. Yeah, what? It's like $25.99, right? 20? Oh, 50. 50, 25. That's a little bit more. I feel like I should be talking right now, but like I'm just farming dudes, you know? It's all the same enemies you've seen before. Oh, these are new. Hermit crabs. There's an achievement with these, actually, so I do want to keep that one alive. This one, though. Enemy of the state. Oh my... Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Whatever. Oh my god, I was such an idiot there. Like, I even knew, oh my god, that's so embarrassing. Well, you know, I guess that's sort of a metaphor for the whole thing. You know, oh, well, that was a really fun run. That's a shame. Alright, well, either way, if my gameplay and or commentary improved your day even a little bit, I would like you to use the avenues that YouTube gives you to tell me that I'm doing a good job and that you enjoyed yourself. Those would be the like, comment, and subscribe buttons. Make sure to give your pets a little bit of extra love just for me, and I will see you in the next one.